Welcome, everyone. We're here today with Bob Brewer, Solutions Director for Networking for E+. And we're producing this short video series called Solutions Express on SD-WAN to address some of the most common questions we get in a short, to-the-point format. Welcome, Bob, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Casey. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited about this video series. This technology is amazing. I've been around this business a long time, almost 30 years, and to me, this is the new technology that I've been most excited about. I've been around SD-WAN now for almost 9 years, and I've seen it grow, and the market landscape is so dynamic. So, looking forward to the series. So, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, let's dig into today's question. Bob, can you explain the difference between SD and SD-WAN?
Well, software defined has been around a long time. Primarily, it started in the data center, software defined networking, software defined data center. I always view, software defined WAN as kind of the little brother of software defined networking. Conceptually, they're the same. What they do is pretty much the same, but the guys that started the SD-WAN push, about 9 years ago, really took that conceptual design of software-defined networking and pushed it out to the wide area network. And that's really where we've seen the biggest hit. Data center software-defined networking still very prominent in the industry, but software-defined WAN is huge right now. But the difference is very, very similar. Again, they use the same technology, they use the same concepts, the same designs. And it's really when you look at a device, let's call it a router or a switch, something that passes information. In the old days, and I say the old days because I was in those old days, everything was in that one device, and we call that the control plane and the data plane. And what happened in the data center is they began to separate that. So the control of the data and how it passed through the network and how it was steered or routed or whatever was separated from where the actual data is passed. So that's the separation of the control plane and the data plane. When you look at wide area networking, obviously the router is the king of wide area networking. Everything was contained in that device. So it was really the traffic cop. It not only made established the policy and where everything went, but it also then passed the data through the data plane. Software definition takes those and separates them, which makes it more efficient, more higher performance, easier to maintain. You get single pane of glass for orchestration, automation, policy enforcement, policy creation. So they separated the control plane and put it up into a control environment where it's a single pane of glass. I can now control all the data on all the wide area network out of one device. So that's really the beauty of software defined wide area networking. It's the separation of the control and the data.
And one quick follow-up question, Bob, is one or the other better for an organization?
Um, the organizations that I deal with today at the enterprise level, have really embraced software-defined wide area networking. The benefits of software-defined WAN are, carrier diversity. In other words, I can have multiple types of connections, whether it be MPLS or, direct internet access, broadband internet access, even LTE. So I now can separate myself from those long-term carrier contracts that I'm locked into a single provider for all of my connectivity. I can now diversify, which I can now save money. I can optimize my carrier spend. One of the other, in my opinion, the biggest benefit of software-defined WAN is now I have taken the control or taken the ability to take my applications and prioritize them across that wide area network. And then I can set policy, steering or routing decisions are made based on application, whether it be mission critical application. I can push all my mission critical applications down my primary link, whether that be MPLS or high speed direct internet access. Then I can take all my secondary applications, social media, even email, for example, though email today is considered mission critical in a lot of enterprises. And I can send those down a secondary link, so there's less contention on the link and the connection and the connectivity. That to me is probably the most beautiful thing about software-defined WAN is the ability to understand applications, even deep into the application, even by protocol. Um, so that is, to me, one of the biggest. Those are the two biggest things, in my opinion, Casey. Carrier diversity and application prioritization.
Absolutely. That's amazing, Bob. And thanks so much for sharing with us today. This was very helpful.
My pleasure. I can talk about this all day long.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to next time when we'll go over how
Me too.
SD-WAN works, impacts for organizations, and more.
Thanks, Casey.